Fire Bill O'Brien tomorrow. The Dark Disciple clearly only knows what Bill Belichick taught him, and that's to destroy non-Patriots AFC teams, and he's doing it from the inside to the Texans. They can't keep allowing him to ruin the young career of Deshaun Watson.
The gridiron is littered with bodies this weekend because everyone's knees have been taken. It's sad to see, like so much talent snapped like it's Thanos from the Avengers. It just goes to show the dominance of Khabib. The first time he got him on the ground at the end of round one, you could see Gaethje's eyes right away. He was looking at that clock. He was just trying to survive. And then right off the bat, even with a broken foot, round two, Khabib got him on the ground. And when you're on he said he was going to drown him in the deepest ocean, and that's exactly what he did.
I think the biggest thing for this offense as a whole was Kyren Williams. Because Kyren Williams set the tone against that Clemson defense. Against Clemson, he had 140 yards and 3 touchdowns on only 23 carries.
If you want to listen to some people and say that maybe you make the MVP take into account, especially in a shortened season, some of the postseason, it's Mookie's award to lose. But you want to talk about dominance in the regular season, and 1100 OPS will do that. And my God, Freddie Freeman, he was just crushing the ball. This is your CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Gillette, the best shave a man can get. Dana White is nothing if not a showman, and his latest Fight Night card, UFC 254, looks like quite the stacked event. With an exciting main event featuring undefeated lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov versus the strong challenger Justin Gaethje, the card seems like a UFC fan's dream, but unfortunately, it took quite the blow over the weekend when its elite co-main fell through the cracks as negotiations became unsalvageable, according to Dana White. The original plans were for an electric lightweight bout to be the co-main between Dustin Poirier and Tony Ferguson, two of the top contenders in the division. Tony Ferguson had been on a 12-fight win streak until he came up against a red-hot Justin Gaethje, who was able to use his fists to get the decision win. Meanwhile, Poirier's only recent loss has come to the undefeated champ Khabib, which is nothing to be ashamed about if you're Poirier. It was only fitting that this de facto lightweight #1 contendership match would happen as the co-main to the lightweight title fight. But it seems destiny and Dana White's checkbook had other plans. However, not all hope is lost for the fight. Not only has there been a lot of fan outrage on Twitter, but Tony Ferguson himself has gone to the platform, calling on Dana White to open the checkbook and pay Diamond Dustin Poirier so the fans can get the supercard they deserve. And I, for one, am in complete agreement. Dana White has the money and the means. It's time for him to give the fans the show they want. It's time for him to give them Poirier versus Ferguson. This has been Matt Petry.
But I'm looking for the Lakers, specifically LeBron and AD, to dominate down low.
Well, I completely understand why you feel that way, but I believe that the most important players in the series are going to be on the Heat side of things, and it's going to be Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler, because those two are the keys to stopping who you just brought up, the superstars of the Los Angeles Lakers, and they've had some experience stopping paint-dominant teams this postseason. Just look at what they did to the Bucks. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the most dominant inside man since Shaq, completely taken away by the defensive strategy of the Heat, led by that 1-2 punch of Jimmy Butler filtering him into Bam Adebayo in the paint. That's going to be very similar to the nature of this Anthony Davis-LeBron team, and they're going to have to step up and play even better than they did on the Greek Freak if they want to stop the King and his new prince.
Matt, thanks for joining us. And the first thing I want to get to is a part of that last play, and that's DeAndre Hopkins. We saw 2 huge trades in the offseason with wide receivers. Stephon Diggs catches a touchdown with 34 seconds left, and DeAndre Hopkins, the game-winning touchdown with 2 seconds left. This game shows that wide receivers still matter, and elite wide receivers are important to winning football games. In your opinion, what has been the impact of DeAndre Hopkins on the Arizona Cardinals so far this season?
Well, thank you, Jonathan. And right away, DeAndre Hopkins has revolutionized this team's offense. I spoke with Coach Cliff Kingsbury after the game, and he spoke about the trickle-down effect having a superstar receiver has had on the team because it's opened up the entire offensive dynamic. Because when they have to respect D-Hop over the top, it opens up the running game for Kyler Murray and Drake, and you've seen that all year. As Brian in studio mentioned, 10 rushing touchdowns for Kyler Murray. He's a top 10 rusher in the league right now, and DeAndre Hopkins has been a massive part of opening up this whole team, and that's not even getting into his individual impact. Arguably the top receiver in the game, and the stats back it up. Only Devontae Adams has more yards per game or touchdowns, and he's playing with Aaron Rodgers, an MVP candidate. DeAndre Hopkins has turned this offense from a budding young superstar offense to a true contenders offense.
Someone that DeAndre Hopkins has helped significantly, obviously, and Deshaun Watson knows this because that's Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray has transcended his play. It's not just because of DeAndre Hopkins, but it's a huge help. In the MVP race, where does Kyler Murray currently stand?
Kyler Murray has absolutely put himself in the conversation. I'd have him as my fourth candidate right now, but absolutely his stock is rising. He has just put his team in very slight first in his division, and he has 27 touchdowns on the year in just 9 games, and only 7 interceptions. He's been phenomenal at controlling the ball. He's been much better as a passer, not only as a rusher. He's absolutely an MVP candidate. I'd still have him below Mahomes, Russell Wilson, and Aaron Rodgers, but he is hot on their tails, especially if he keeps beating the Seahawks in their division.